Hello, my fellow YouTubers. What's going on? Welcome back again to P.P.R. Presley's Passions and Reactions. Thank you again for stopping by. It's much appreciated. I appreciate the love and the support. Keep it coming so I could keep providing videos for you, video reactions, and video of my passions for you guys. Now, this video I'm reacting to today is also from ScreenPrism. You know, Black Panther was a major hit. We all knew that it was going to be a major hit. We all knew that the community was going to support it. Communities around the world was going to support it. Not just the black community, but pretty much any community this movie was for. It doesn't matter where you were from. And I'm so proud that this movie made the $1 billion mark in just a few short weeks. I mean, that achievement alone will not necessarily guarantee more movies with a lot of black actors will be made, but it definitely destroys the old held belief that movies featuring black casts cannot make money for Hollywood, will not be supported, or will just not be accepted around the world or to the viewing audience, which is a damn lie. And I'm glad that Black Panther was able to highlight that lie and show it for what it really was. But this video is coming to you from ScreenPrism, and it's jumping into the symbolic analysis of Black Panther and the symbolism involved throughout the movie that was put in the movie. And I hope they speak about what the symbolism involved towards the world's community and people of color and just people all together. So let's see what ScreenPrism again has to say and jump into it.
Marvel has gotten political before.
A little bit, not too much.
But never so profoundly or successfully as in Ryan Coogler's groundbreaking Black Panther.
Absolutely groundbreaking.
It is your time.
The movie does a masterful job of discussing complex issues like black identity, history, colonialism, technology, globalism versus isolationism, and the future.
Absolutely.
What happens
all
now
those subjects
determines what happens
by
to the
Black
rest
Panther.
of the world.
But it carries on all these conversations through story. It draws on potent symbolism and a clash between characters who all make compelling cases for their sides. We're used to so many superhero movies where it's pretty clear who's right and who's wrong. Black Panther shows the superhero movie's power to actually process layered ethical questions through dramatic conflict without oversimplifying and actually enhancing its entertainment value through all of this nuance and complexity.
You know, I hope that this movie kind of opens up our ideas of what a blockbuster is and what it can be.
This is the first Marvel movie to feature an almost entirely black cast, and it's breaking all kinds of box office records.
So happy for them.
So the story of T'Challa's transformation into the Black Panther is truly a historic movie whose significance can't be overstated.
My kid, I get to take my kid to go see a black superhero.
Trayvon Martin, man.
And he gets to see an image of himself.
Still,
as the
R.I.P.,
man.
dude.
I'm not only excited for that, but then Halloween, I can't wait to see little white kids dressing up as
I can't
Black
wait to
Panther,
see something like that too.
Before we go on, be sure to hit subscribe and click the bell to get notifications on all of our new videos.
Okay.
So let's start by looking at how Black Panther captures so much of history and culture through symbolism. Wakanda is a country hidden in plain sight. So the symbolic message is that the world is overlooking the power of black people. But this power is far greater than the world could ever imagine.
I've said it better
Third
myself.
world country.
Straight up.
Textiles, shepherds, cool outfits, all front.
In the post-credits scene at the UN, T'Challa is asked what his country could possibly have to offer the rest of the world, and he smiles knowingly.
Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't know
When
about
Claw
us.
steals Wakanda's vibranium, this has an obvious colonial feel to it. Vibranium is a valuable natural resource, and it's being taken from the country that owns it.
It's a natural resource
It's
that
fell from
kind
the
of
sky,
thrives
so
off of. They mine
it's
it,
not
they use
from
technology.
Claw is a white South African, which reminds us of the
close enough,
history of
I guess.
apartheid and the gross inequalities that still exist today as a result in South Africa. We also get the early scene in a London museum where a white woman lectures Eric Killmonger about African artifacts, but she gets the origins of the key artifact wrong. Eric corrects her and then steals these valuable items, but not before reminding her
very
that her
uncomfortable
people
for that
stole
woman.
them to begin with. So in all of these moments, the story is urging us not to forget how much white society has taken and appropriated from Black communities. And we should be aware that the so-called expert academic and historical accounts we
true.
trust are also flawed and incomplete. So the film's implicit historical commentaries help us understand Wakanda's fear of losing everything if it reveals itself to the world, because we know what colonialism has done to so many real countries. Wakanda is a vision of what an African country could or would be if it hadn't been damaged by imperialism and exploitation. Black Panther's multinational cast comes from countries including the US, the UK, Kenya, Guyana, and Tobago. And the superpower most on display in this
Blackness
superhero story
itself is a superpower.
blackness itself.
I mean, that's a great
To be
concept.
African is to be human.
The Wakandans offer role models young Black men and women can look up to and aspire to be.
And when I was a kid, I got a chance to see Christopher Reeves. I got a chance to see Michael Keaton.
Chadwick
you know what I'm saying?
Boseman.
But I didn't get a chance
Salute
to
to
see
you, sir.
Chadwick
Great
Boseman.
job.
Chadwick Boseman looks like me. Like, he looks like my son.
When Okoye is forced to wear a wig, she just wants to get it off her head. This
Adore.
white beauty ideal is like an uncomfortable costume for her.
For the Dora, a big thing for them is symbolism of their bald head. When they become Dora Milaje, they shave their head. It's something that's present in the comics. It's something we really ran with in this film. So for her, it's a dishonor for her to ever cover her bald head.
The empowered warriors of Wakanda offer a beauty standard that's based on strength and embracing the natural. And this is reflected in the lighting by DP Rachel Morrison. The cinematography here helps reverse a long-standing industry bias. Kodak's Shirley cards, used to calibrate their printing, only featured pale skin tones for decades. Jean-Luc Godard even called Kodak film racist and refused to use it to shoot in Mozambique because it was so poorly optimized for dark skin. So Morrison's work in Black Panther, together with the images of DPs like Bradford Young, Matthew Libatique, and James Laxton, helps to undo this historical bias to use white skin as the default in cinema. Morrison makes dark skin tones look absolutely stunning, while still going for high contrast images and saturated, vibrant tones. But even though the film is linking blackness across national borders, it's also acknowledging that Black Americans have long been deprived of a meaningful connection to Africa. They can't trace their ancestors because of the history of slavery.
Going to review that show,
slavery
Atlanta.
happened and my entire
I promise you,
ethnic
I need to
identity
get
was
on that
erased.
show.
Eric still has Wakanda inside him, with the movies showing how being cut off from your heritage like this is tragic. When T'Challa drinks the heart-shaped herb and gets to talk with his father, he's in his beautiful homeland, glimpsing all of the Black Panther ancestors that came before him. But when Eric gets to visit his father, he enters their old apartment in Oakland. He sees a TV full of empty static, and he envisions his father alone, cut off from his ancestors. So the central conflict in the movie is also this complex relationship between Africans and the African diaspora, especially African Americans. The movie does something clever by initially setting up Claw as the one-dimensional villain that we might expect going in. But then Claw is killed, and it's revealed that this story is really about the far more personal and heartbreaking battle between Eric and T'Challa, both of whom we feel for immensely. One of the reasons Black Panther works so well is that Eric is a villain who's right. His anger is justified.
Growing up in the States and systemic oppression really shaped his trajectory.
Just because something is
entire
justified
family,
doesn't
you know,
mean
you
that
get
it's
stripped
right.
of everything thrown in the system.
Interesting
and
question.
You let that fester and grow into some rage.
Even
I feel
T'Challa
that
actually
Killmonger
agrees
was
that Eric was
justified, but
terribly
his
wronged
actions
by T'Challa's father
was
and
not
country.
right.
Killmonger is complex because, you know, he's gonna have a valid point.
At the end of the film, Eric says he wants to be buried in the ocean, like his ancestors who jumped from slave ships because they'd rather die than live in bondage. It's important that Eric sees slaves as his true ancestors and not the Wakandans. For him, the African and African American identities are irreparably divided by the history of mass enslavement. In addition to representing the African versus African American experiences, T'Challa and Eric symbolize the historical debate between Black leaders over whether to achieve progress through peace or aggression. Philosophically, T'Challa aligns with Martin Luther King Jr.'s
by any
philosophy
means
of
necessary,
nonviolence,
only
and
when
Eric aligns more with Malcolm Malcolm X's by any means
Only when
necessary
you're
outlook, which
personally-
largely inspired the
I don't
Black
know.
Panthers.
Not even.
In Eric's
By any
childhood
means
Oakland
necessary,
home, we see
you
a
can't-
poster
does
of
not
Huey
work.
Newton, the
I
leader
changed my
of the
mind.
Black
Martin
Panthers.
Luther King
The
way
Black
it
Panther
is.
comic, incidentally, was created slightly before the party was formed, although the character of Eric Killmonger was created
Yeah.
after. Both sides of this debate want the same thing, they just have different beliefs about what will achieve the solution. And that's what makes the clash between T'Challa and Eric tragic.
It's my responsibility to make sure that Wakanda does not fall into the hands of a person like you.
The image of the two fighting Black Panthers falling through the air visually captures this wrestling of ideas.
I mean,
but Eric could
struggle
easily have
bring-
been the hero if this were
struggle
another movie.
brings
In some
character
ways,
to life,
he's a more interesting
but
or dynamic
also good
character than
upbringing
T'Challa. He wasn't
can
born a
bring
prince,
character to
and he's
life.
actually
And so
struggled.
the good
He's so
upbringing
passionate
that
about what he
T'Challa
cares,
had.
and he'll go through any lengths to like get what to achieve his dreams and his goals.
By now, though, Eric has let his anger and hatred take over his entire being, to the point where he no longer has the capacity to create a positive future. In the same way that Wakanda
In the
is what an
American
African
culture.
country could
Isn't
be
that-
if it weren't touched
isn't
by
that-
colonialism, T'Challa is what Eric could have been
Interesting.
if he hadn't lost his father and grown up exposed to suffering, prejudice, and crime. But besides Eric's understanding of social injustice, he doesn't
gorgeous.
have the qualities we look for in a leader, and T'Challa does.
You get to
Angela
decide
Bassett,
what kind
still
of
beautiful.
king you are going to be.
T'Challa is benevolent and respects women, while Eric is authoritarian and violent towards women. This is a deal breaker in a community that values women like Wakanda does.
In the comic books, you have these female characters that are incredibly important to the country of Wakanda.
T'Challa is the right hero for this movie because his heart is in the right place, and he gradually learns how to be a leader,
Well,
rather
to
than
say,
coming in with
before
a rigid point of view
Killmonger
that
came
can't
along,
evolve. What's
T'Challa
interesting,
had the
though,
same
is that in the
ideas.
end, T'Challa clearly does take some of Eric's ideas to heart. So by the end of the film, T'Challa's worldview is the happy medium between Eric's point of view and his father's original isolationist, nonviolent point of view. Which means
Strong
he's
black
basically
woman
ending up
behind a
with
strong
Nakia's
black
point of
man.
view and doing what she's been telling him to do all
how it
along.
goes.
It might have been a much shorter movie if he'd just listened to his girlfriend. In a way, the evil history perpetrated by white people is
Power of
the
community.
ultimate villain here. But
Something
because
that
you can't fight
African
with the
Americans
past,
are
the
sorely
legacy of that
lacking,
historic
the sense
evil
of
is
community.
reflected through the continuing conflicts
I
between
hate
black
that
characters.
everything with us is competition.
Another key
Competition and
difference
envy.
between Black
We
Panther
need
and
to
other
get over that
superhero movies
and
is
try to
that
help
this
one
is about a
another.
community,
Just
not
try to
just
help
one guy.
Others.
He's an African
Just try to
king,
help people.
You know, his first responsibility is to his people.
In most superhero movies, the hero has to reconcile private and public identities. But here, the whole country of Wakanda has to do that.
Films about
I always
Panther,
want
but
to say that
films equally
tradition
about Wakanda.
is a liability
Black Panther
because
suggests that
it
the
becomes
key to a healthy
outdated
community
and
is balancing
therefore
tradition
can
and
become a
progress.
hindrance.
That's
but
what's so unique about
can't
Wakanda.
forget your
At
past.
first, we see these
Can't forget
beautiful
where you
natural
came from.
landscapes. Then it's revealed that we're looking at an extremely advanced city. So the film has a theme of Afrofuturism.
true.
It's offering an optimistic
That's
vision of
true.
the future where Black people can determine what's next for them and for the world at large. And the only superpowers we actually see in this
Absolutely.
movie all come from technology or from a natural source.
You've been taking bullets, charging it up with kinetic energy.
So this
true.
symbolizes that
Where
the
would-
keys
where
to
would the black
progress are
community
applied
really
human
be without
intellect and the gifts of
strong
the
black
natural
women
world. The film shows
keeping
that
the families
Wakanda is
together?
also strong because of the black
Ever
women
since they
who
started
hold up their
incarcerating
community.
our black men.
Now or never.
And it underlines the importance of a father in a man's life. The disappointing father
So
is something of a recurring
Thankful
trope in the Marvel
and grateful
universe.
that I grew up my father around until he passed.
You're gonna break your old man's
Miss you,
heart.
Dad.
But here the question of fathers and sons takes on a more profound cultural significance. Wakanda emphasizes masculine rites of passage and black fathers who are role models. Eric has the inverse experience. His dad is taken
Yeah,
from
he
him
does.
unjustly. So this symbolizes that systemic social wrongs are really to blame for absentee fathers in underserved communities. T'Challa realizes through his father's mistake that he has a moral responsibility to address the larger world's problems. Also, T'Challa warns M'Baku that
more-
if he
we're
doesn't help
connected
them, then
in
Killmonger will come
in
after
so
the
many
Jabari
more
next.
ways than we
And that's a
realize,
clear warning for us
absolutely.
all about the importance of caring what happens to the communities around
Let's
us.
go.
Because we're all much more interconnected than we often realize.
Great music. Yeah,
Ultimately,
great.
in many
It
ways,
had
this
all
is
of
still a
that. This
classic
movie was
Marvel movie. It
almost
has the traditional
perfect.
hallmarks of
If
strength
a movie
and
can
justice
be
being
perfect.
lauded, a hero grappling with daddy issues, cool music,
Confrontation ain't nothing new to me.
pulse-racing
Yeah.
fight sequences, and humor.
Yeah.
Did he freeze?
Like an antelope in headlights.
You finished?
So what's perhaps most compelling about Black Panther is that it fits the whole Marvel superhero formula, but it shows what that formula is actually capable of.
We can only hope that it does.
Let's go!
It infuses the fun blockbuster with a complex villain, a deep social commentary, and an investigation of the enduring wrongs that are the legacy of our shared world history. So Black Panther opens the door for other, more thoughtful, diverse, and deep blockbusters to follow in its footsteps.
Great movie.
You show off?
ScreenPrism, another hit. I mean, great take on the symbolism of Black Panther. I agree with so much what you had to say. It's so true. I mean, Black Panther was an important movie for the culture, important movie for African American culture in particular, but culture overall. I mean, seeing white little kids wearing the Black Panther outfit would be a great thing to see. I would absolutely bring a smile to my face to see that, because why not? I mean, I know as a black man, I wore the Superman costume in a couple Halloweens when I was younger myself, and I did not see any problem with that. Superman was white, but that didn't mean anything to me. Superman could have been black too. I could be Superman. I mean, it would be so great to see. So, ScreenPrism, thank you for the video. It was appreciated. Black Panther really touched a lot of subjects, and you pointed them out brilliantly. So tell me what you thought about the trailer. Tell me what you thought about my reaction to this, not to the trailer, but to this video from ScreenPrism. This is P.P.R. Presley's Passive Reactions. Comment down below. Please like and subscribe. I'm your boy Presley. Thank you guys again for stopping by and checking out the channel. And I'm out.